The sheriff had said to us, we're getting close. Sheriff Rob Maciol on the line concerning this story out of Floyd, where a corrections officer found a package sitting out near his mailbox. When he went to grab it, it exploded. He is in critical condition still today with burns over 50% of his body. On the line right now, after an arrest was made yesterday, Sheriff Rob Maciol. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. How are you today?
Good. So, good news, but bizarre.
Yeah.
Very bizarre, this story.
Yes. You know, it's first, I apologize for not being able to come in the studio. I was running late today. I kind of slept a little later than I planned, but it's been a crazy couple days.
Yeah.
You're entitled.
Thank you. You know, like I said, just definitely a unique case. We've never worked on any case like this before, and we brought together multiple agencies. It was really neat to see, you know, agencies from the county, the state, and the federal level, certainly the local level out there in Ohio, come together unlike I've ever seen before. And since the 29th, I mean, we worked around the clock on this case, or our investigators worked around the clock, came up with a break, which led us to Ohio, which basically, in summary, Mr. Dobransky, the victim in this, his elderly mother had a caretaker, and Mr. Dobransky found out that the caretaker was taking money from his mother. He let her know that he found this out, and he advised her that he was going to local law enforcement out there to report this. And once he did that, basically the caretaker, she and her sister's husband, they conspired basically to get this bomb to Mr. Dobransky's house, you know, in an effort to stop the notification to law enforcement about the thefts that they were doing out there.
That is unbelievable. And do we know? I know that you can't say much about the bomb, but I keep hearing from people who don't want to be named that tell us it was sophisticated.
It certainly. I mean, just, you know, I guess the most I could say, and most people can put their own assumption together. That day we had a pretty large crime scene. We were collecting debris. That's why the road was closed. Mm-hmm. And again, the seriousness of Mr. Dobransky's injuries, he's still listed in critical. He's still, that day he received burns over 50% of his body. So with that being said, because I've been instructed we can't go into detail on the bomb right now. All that will come out in court, but definitely this thing was meant to do some damage.
Yeah. Andrew.
Is it also, is one of the reasons that information is not being released is that there is a possible fourth suspect, or are you confident that these are the three involved?
Not necessarily. Like I said, we brought in the experts when it comes to bombs, and that's the ATF, and they certainly have some very sophisticated, ways of working cases like this. Yeah. So when it comes to talking about the bomb and dealing with the evidence, I'm certainly following their guidelines. So that's why we're not going into any further details.
All right, and everything is okay with the corrections officer's mother. She's safe.
Yes,
she's well.
That is correct. She is. Yes.
And is the corrections officer expected to make a full recovery? Is it the critical condition based on the burns?
Well, we again, because of the severity of his condition, and we still have not been able to talk to him. Again, it's at this point, like I said, we did. The cases, the suspects are located. The case is it closed as far as an arrest goes. It's now in the prosecutor's hands. And at this point, I certainly want to focus. Obviously, our investigators have a bunch of things to close up, some loose ends, but at the same time, our thoughts and prayers go out to Mr. Dobransky that he makes a recovery from this. Certainly a tragic thing. And this could have been, there are so many other people that could have been with him when the package picked up. A lot of close houses in the neighborhood. Like I said, this is a very tragic incident. And, I am just, like I said, I could not be more proud of the law enforcement people that worked on this case. I mean, these folks, some of them, obviously worked, night and day. And we were working multiple angles here because, a lot of, we had teams focusing on the job aspect, teams focusing on the family aspect, and again, until we were able to rule everything out. That's why, up until, near the end, we still didn't know if it was related to his job. And like I said, we are 100% sure that this was not related to his position as a correction officer.
Yeah, wow.
Sheriff, can I ask, or can you clarify, the charges now, I believe, are assault. It would seem that there is more coming in that regard, right?
Yes. And that's some of the comments that, and questions we get from people, and it's an assault first. I mean, again, that's, I look to the experts as far as, our district attorney and then the U.S. attorney. They're both working all the angles with this case. They've been a huge part of this right from the get-go. Our main concern, at this stage of the game or at yesterday's stage of the game, we want to obviously be able to charge them with something that we can hold them on until it gets to the next level.
Okay.
Assault first is still a B felony, which is a very, very serious charge. And I'm, again, I can't speak for either one of the prosecutors, the DA or the U.S. attorney. But just from what they said in yesterday's press conference, and obviously the severity of this and the situation of coming across state lines and all that, those are all things that they're working on. But our main concern was to get them off the street, get them in jail, get the community safe, to feel at ease that these people are, not out lingering in the community somewhere. And again, $250,000 bail. I mean, they're not going anywhere.
And from what the press conference from that yesterday, there could be a trial here, there could be a federal trial. There could be both.
There could be both. And again, I'm not speaking for them, but it could be done locally, it could be done federally, or it could be done both. So, that's all a decision for District Attorney Scott McNamara.
Yeah,
and are they being held here in Oneida County, or are they?
They are. That is correct. They are in Oneida County Jail. They waived extradition yesterday and were transported. Actually, when the press conference was going on yesterday, they were just arriving in Oneida County.
Not sure I'd want to be at. Not that all of your corrections officers, I'm sure, are very professional. But if I'm these two guys or three people, I'm not sure I would want to be in Oneida County right now.
Our guys, our county correction officers, just like state correction officers, are very professional. They have a very difficult job to do on a regular basis, not let alone unique things like this. But like I said, my people are very professional, and they remain professional through all kinds of stuff. Like state correction officers, they get stuff literally. Yep. They get put in charge of all kinds of people, and it's their job to keep them in the facility securely.
All right, Sheriff Rob Maciol, we appreciate it. Thanks so much for the update. This is, again, bizarre, and we certainly hope for the best with the corrections officer. Again, still in critical condition.
Yes. Thank you very much, and you guys have a great day.
Thanks, Rob. Rob Maciol.
And again, the allegation is the package was driven here, not sent through the mail. That was a question I was getting yesterday. So,
but there's that cross state line issue that is really something to be focusing on there. All right, listen. Next hour, lots to get into. We'll start out with the congressional race. Stephen Wells, the Republican Stephen Wells, will be on at 7:08, somewhere in that range. Then after that, at 7:20, Assemblywoman Claudia Tenney. The other Republican, one of the three that is in the race, these three will be part of a debate here on the radio Monday morning starting at 7 o'clock. Then later on, Bill Morehouse has an issue with a story about details and numbers on Hotel Utica, and he's going to challenge some of those numbers that were reported. We'll get to that coming up.